reunion. I won't tell nobody because then they'll be able to figure out your age. Folks, you know, I watch a lot of YouTube because there's some really good content creators on there. But like everything else, you have those people who come to you every day and lie. Okay, they come up with these fancy titles, all this bullshit. It's all used to get clicks and views because they don't care about the truth. Now, I don't have 500,000 or 1,000,000 subscribers like some of them got. That goes to show you and to prove to you that people don't care about the truth. I come and I bring you the truth. And that's the reason that I feel that I don't have 500,000 or 1,000,000 subscribers. Because people can't take the truth. Now, whether you like the guy or you don't like him is not of any importance here. All right? Hello, Jacob. How are you? Okay? And, you know, folks, I seen content creators that when everything that was going on with Diddy, they had views like crazy and they're demolishing. And I spoke about them. And quite honestly, speaking about them helped my channel too. Okay? I'm not going to say that it didn't. But now I've seen one, and I won't tell you who the content creator was. You could figure it out. Okay? Because yesterday she's posting and talking, going, of how Diddy was forced to sell his home in Florida. Folks, not the case at all. He wasn't forced by the government. He wasn't forced by any creditor. None of that bullshit. Okay? Now let me tell you what he did sell. Okay? Sean Diddy Combs was not legally forced to sell his Star Island mansion, but rather sold the property in a $55 million off-market deal from federal prison. He still owns the adjacent Star Island estate that was raided by federal authorities. You understand, folks? He still owns that. He didn't lose that. The property of One Star Island Drive, which he originally bought from Gloria and Emilio Esteban for $35 million in 2021, was purchased by JF Star LLC, led by John A. Franklin. The sale was finalized in July 2026 after the buyer and Combs team resolved a temporary legal dispute regarding closing documentation. That happens sometimes, okay? So he still owns the mansion. This was another piece of property that he bought for $35 million, and he sold it for $55 million. Okay? Folks, that's a $20 million profit that he made. Can't say that was bad, huh? No way. So you see, folks, I always try to figure things out, how to get to the truth, what are the facts. I just gave you the facts. But I guarantee you, everybody here, probably saw that other person that I'm talking about and believed her. And I don't understand it. I don't understand how people believe these get sucked into this bait and switch bullshit. I can understand why there's a lot of con people taking other people's money here on social media. That's happening every day. You ought to hear the stories I hear, okay? Because people are really believing the people who give you the untruths. Now, for those of you who were here earlier, I talked about the Young Turks. They give you good advice. They do the research methodically. And they do a great job. I also watch Stephen A. Smith. There's a guy that is pure class. He's a gentleman, very articulate. He could talk like you can't believe, okay? The guy's really good. So I checked this. I was watching this most boring interview. Now, I don't know if it was because he had this. I think she was a congressman, a Republican congresswoman, okay, that he had on there. She was boring. Oh my God, was she boring. Stephen, he was cool as he always is. But you know, Stephen's only got 1.5 million subscribers. A lot more than I got. I got 17,000. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And folks, hit that like button. Okay? It don't cost you a penny. Okay? And if you don't like what I'm saying, give me the thumbs button. Thumbs down. Okay? You got a choice there. Okay? But you know, yeah, what you are, you're going to do what you want to do. Okay? After all, this is America. And that's the freedoms that we have. And I'm not going to stay here long and take up all your time, folks. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, I looked at Stephen Smith. He's normally got hundreds of thousands of views. On this particular one, he only had 10,000 views in 2 days. That's not a Stephen Smith show. So I guess I'm not the only one who thought it was a boring show. But forever, the length of time, it still counts as a view. So I don't understand. Okay, I think things are changing on YouTube that I don't know how it goes. I really don't. I haven't said I'm a blood. You can keep him there, Mandy. Hey, look, for you folks who weren't here earlier, I congratulate Mandy because today is her 30th class reunion. I bet a lot of you didn't even think she was 30 years old, right? But tonight she's getting ready and she's going to go to her 30th class reunion. You know how many of my class reunions I've been to? You want to take a guess? Come on, take a guess. All right? Wonder. That's a good one, Wander. You call him Taco, huh? Speaking of taco, you know this new parasite thing going and giving people diarrhea and people are getting sick all over the country? It's coming from Taco Bell, from the lettuce that they were getting. That's what the news is saying. So don't go to Taco Bell, folks. I used to go there, honest to God. I like their tacos. Ain't going there no more. Boy. And you know what? I'm not even buying a salad. Okay? I'm scared of it. I don't want to get that thing. Alright? Whatever it is going around, I'm sure you don't. Folks, you know, last night, our president, he is our president, like it or don't, he talked about how great the economy is. Does he really believe what the hell he's saying? Does he really believe it? And then today on the news, there's a big story of how people are not going to grocery stores, not going spending the money. If you go in a grocery store, I know around here, I go to them, okay? They're dead. A massive grocery store with only 4 people in there buying food, okay? Jen Hope wants to ask me a question. Sure, just put it down, my friend. Hello, Dosito, how are you? Greetings from Palermo. John Cooper, how are you? You know, folks, for those of you who are on Instagram, Facebook, okay, perhaps you've seen my dear friend, Charlie Bronson, is going up for parole yet. He's been in prison over in England for 50 years, okay? Yeah, that's right, 50 years. He did not unalive nobody, did not rape nobody. Okay, it was a robbery. All right? We got Dwayne from Ireland. How are you, mate? Okay. You know, folks, 50 years. Charlie's a tough guy, okay? He's done some crazy things in prison. I'm not going to say he didn't, but he doesn't deserve to be there 50 years. Yeah, he's beating up a lot of people, but it's prison. You get in a fight. What are you going to do? You got to defend yourself. So he happens to be stronger than the other guys, okay? Got to give him credit for that, all right? But sometimes, somehow, I hope he gets parole. He's got the hearing coming up here very shortly, and I hope he gets it. Now, for those of you who don't know Charlie Bronson, there was a movie with Tom Hardy did an awesome, amazing job. I had something to do with that movie. It's about Charlie. And this is the movie that brought Tom Hardy to light. And I'll never forget the first time I laid eyes on Tom Hardy. I was over in England. And after a night, when you were out in England, folks, you're going to drink. If you don't drink, you better find another place to go. Okay, especially with my friends over there. Okay? But after the pubs closed, we always, every night, end up at my best mate's, Joey Piles' home in Surrey. And continue our drinking. On this one particular evening, Joey said, "Oh, you gotta watch this video." And I watched the video. I go, "Holy shit, Joe, how did you get Charlie to play this? He's playing himself?" He said, "No, Orky, that's not Charlie. That's Tom Hardy." Folks, I thought it was Charlie. That's how great of a job Tom Hardy did. You just take that one individual, that one movie. You see, folks, the difference that people do from other countries is they study their craft, and it comes out on the screen. They read. Yeah, people read in other countries. No more in the United States because everybody thinks they know it all. Folks, we never know it all. I'll never know it all. I'm 81 years old. I might know a lot more than a lot of you. Yeah, let's blame it on the immigrants again over here. Housing didn't go up because of immigrants. Okay? You have any idea how bad the Trump's ideas, he's got great ideas, but he doesn't know how to implement them because he's swayed by many other people telling him what he's got to do. Okay, those terrorists destroyed our economy. Every move he makes is destroying our economy. Wake up, America. You don't see it? Huh? No, I can't have Kamala Harris either. Okay? Crypto Unlocked asked me a good question. I'm going to take it. Crypto Unlocked is a younger person. He asked me, Ori, if you could leave one last piece of advice for the younger generation, what would it be? I want to tell you what it would be. Young man, young woman, you can be anything that you want. But your mind, everything we do is in our mindset. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, no matter what your goals are, you can achieve them. Still here in the United States. Just get the proper mindset. In a book that I recommend to everybody, of course mine, of course my book, The Accidental Gangster, okay? I highly recommend that. There it is, right here, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. What you won't believe, there's a lot of motivational stuff in this book. But the main book, the main book is Think and Grow Rich, okay? And I told you all the stories. I must have given hundreds of those books away to people. And it's made every one of them a better, more successful, and happier person. Oh. Frankie says he can't read. Well, you're not alone. You're not alone, young man. A lot of people can't read. Don't you think that's a big problem we have in this country? Okay? Our teachers care more about this woke bullshit. Not like the days when I went to school. When I went to school, reading, writing, and arithmetic. We learned them. Alright? Yes, John, I'm Italian. 100%. So, folks, okay? Diddy's going to be out of prison sooner than you could think. Okay? What he's going to do, I don't know. And I really don't care. Okay? That's his life. You know whose life I care about? It's my life. And you should care about your life. Why aren't people thinking about bettering themselves that they got to worry about all this freaking gossip that everybody else puts out there? Okay? I cannot comprehend it. I can't understand it. Okay? And people, here they are. They still want to know what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. I told you the other day, if you're listening, okay? I'm on YouTube. I talked about Jimmy Hoffa. I told you folks the other day. I had a conversation with one of the best guys, an investigative reporter, about Jimmy Hoffa. And we're going to be doing a interview at my studio coming up here very shortly. So please subscribe, like, and put your notifications on, because you're not going to want to miss it. I don't know, ask me. To give old man wisdom. Everything I'm talking to you about is wisdom coming from this old man. Boy, folks, sometimes I don't think I'm young. I mean, I'm old. I think I'm young. Okay? Because that's my mindset. My body tells me different. And anybody wants to ask me a question, feel free to ask it. I try to give you, all right, the best advice that I can. When did President Trump investment? I didn't buy anything, all right? I should have seen what Trump was doing with the stock market, how he manipulated, how he made billions. Okay, this war with Iran is just, folks, they don't care how many people we lose in that war. They don't care how many people they unalive. That's not important to them. It's important to you, to people who become unalive. It's important to their families. But the government, Karen, our government, our House of Representatives, are you serious? They don't give a shit. Look who they listen to. Look at who their leader is. I can't tell you enough times. Our leader is not President Trump. He's just a name. He's got that title for the United States. The guy he's taking orders from is Bibi Netanyahu from Israel, a country of only 9 million people. We're a country of over 350 million people. All right? But those people in Israel are eating, dining, having a great time on our money. And they're taking our money and they're buying our congressmen and senators. So they own every one of our congressmen and senators. And you think that's going to change? No, because it's up to you to make it change. You got to write your congressmen. You got to write your senators. So, folks, pick up a pen, write a letter, do an email, whatever you got to do. But let these idiots in Washington know that their base is getting upset, all right? Jacob, I'm going to tell you who the next president that Donald Trump wants. His son-in-law, Jerry Kushner. Okay? I said that this morning. Did you listen to me this morning? Were you there? They'll do something. They get enough letters. Okay? Because then they'll be compelled to start thinking. Because you see, at that point, your vote does become important. That's when your vote becomes important. Okay? They want your vote for the next election. So, if they get enough letters, they're going to start doing things the way you want them to done, the way things should be done. But until that happens, folks, not going to happen. Why? Because the United States of America is the laziest country on earth. Okay? It's the laziest. Take it how people are so lazy that they can't hit a like button. Try to figure that one out. Okay? And somebody wrote me, oh no, they don't do it because it's safe. Holy shit, I must have 20,000 saved, but I can't find them. Where are they? You see the dumb excuses that people come up with? That's not an excuse. No, the only excuse is laziness. Our country is the laziest on earth. Our country is the fattest country on earth. Yeah, Trump's my president, and I voted for Donald Trump. But I'm disappointed in him, like a lot of other people I know that voted for him. Okay? Because he's not doing what he said he was going to do. Okay? How quick that changed. That the very first person to fly to Washington and meet Donald Trump on the first day in office, who was it? Any of you know? Huh? Come on, leave me a comment. Tell me if you know. All right? It was said no one cares. That's the problem, buddy. Nobody cares. Okay? It was Bibi Netanyahu. And folks, look at, if Trump lost to Kamala Harris, Bibi would have still been there to her, telling her the law of the land that he wants done. See, this is not a one-sided thing. This is both sides. Bibi's got our government figured out better than anybody in our country does. He knows how to manipulate it, and he's good at it. And he does it every single day. Okay? You're right there, my friend. Is it real Trump is now selling access to True Social Post for 100,000? I wouldn't doubt it. He's only about money. Listen to his speech yesterday. What did he talk about? He told you to go to his website, and they will steer you to the company where you can get the best prices on your pharmaceutical medicines. He wants to talk about the great deal he made with the pharmaceutical company. It's all bullshit. It's not a good deal. What he did was create this website that steers you to them, and he gets paid for that. Okay? How many times did he promote his own business yesterday? How many times? I can't even count them. Look at one thing that affects my life, okay? By them controlling our government, by them controlling Pete Hegseth in the military, head of the Department of Defense. I will not call it the Department of War like they wanted. It's the Department of Defense, okay? But they changed it to the Department of War. Why? Wake up. It's simple. Because they want a war. But people don't know. People don't care. All right, folks, I'm getting a little bit upset here. I'm going to call it a day here. I want to thank you all for coming. It's a weekend. Everybody, be safe, be happy. Because every day that you could be happy is the most important day of your life. Okay? God bless you all, folks. Take care.